Okay, for those joining online, welcome. This is the Fairfield Economic Development Commission meeting of May 2nd. We're meeting here in the Old Town Hall Conference Room as well as via Zoom. We do have a quorum. See in the room Chairman Kevin Lesko and Commissioner Justin Beck. Online, I know we have Steve Rosato. I see Ken Hockhauser and Matt Rappaport. I'm not sure if any other commission members have joined, a few other members of the public. Emeritus Mr. Peterson. So with that, I'll turn things over to Kevin to make any opening remarks and then consider the approval minutes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. And welcome to our guests. We look forward to hearing a little bit from you in a few minutes. I want to just stay right on track timing wise. So I'm just going to kind of skip the little things and we're just going to go right to approval of the minutes. Is there a second on that? Second. Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Let's check that one. And if we want to jump right back to you, Mark.
Yep. Well, we're pleased to be joined by Lee and Amy Small from the Nest Alphabet Academy, as well as attorney John Fallon. Lee and Amy are considering a new childcare, early childcare educational facility at 161 Hillside Road in the Greenfield Hill area. We'll be making an application of planning and zoning. They wanted to share with you their plans. Unfortunately, we had a few technical glitches, so I know Amy had put together a PowerPoint I'll share with the group subsequent to the meeting since we were not able to hook it up this morning. But I'll turn things over to Attorney Fallon.
Thank you
for his remarks, and then we'll go from there.
Great. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be very brief. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with us this morning. I did submit through Mark a statement of use that we will be presenting to the Planning and Zoning Commission as part of our application. That gives you detailed backgrounds, both with regard to the experience and history of Amy and Lee in terms of childcare facilities, the other facilities they operate, and I think most importantly, the very unique philosophy of their facilities and what they hope to bring to Greenfield Hill. From a technical standpoint, the property is located in the Neighborhood Design Business District. It has been used commercially for many decades, most recently a bank. The use as we propose is a permitted use subject to getting a special exception from the Planning and Zoning Commission, but it's a permitted use in the zone. We've been proactive in terms of our outreach to the neighborhood and will continue to be. So far, our response has been very positive. And obviously that may be certainly partially due to the fact that this is the type of use where there is significant need in the general neighborhood and the town as a whole. So we think will be a very good complement to the overall neighborhood. But with that, I'd like to turn it over to Lee and Amy, who will give you a better overview in terms of their other facilities and most importantly, what we propose to do here. Ultimately, we'd love to have your support when we go to the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I'll turn it over to both Lee and Amy.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for allowing us to introduce ourselves to you today and my passion, which is early childhood. My husband Lee is a pretty much retired builder developer, and I am the founder, owner, executive director of the Alphabet Academy and Nest Early Learning Community. So we started out with, well, I was a stay-at-home mom with 6 kids. And he was doing the bills one day and he said, you need to get a job now. So, all I really knew how to do was raise a family and keep a home. And so I ended up buying a small daycare in town in Hamden. And boy, was I good at it. It just took off. And so with that, we opened up our second school in Hamden. And after that, actually at the same time as that, Yale University invited us to do an RFP for a childcare center that they were looking for in town, and we were unanimously voted in to have our third center there. And then many years later, we opened up our 4th school in Branford, and with each, I only wanted to have one school. This is the developer in him. But I will say that with each experience came a new outlook on early childhood. So the people that I hired, I always try and hire people that are smarter than me and have the insight that fits into our progressive plan. And so by having the 4 different centers, it really made us, it allowed us to be the experts that we are today. Some of those things that make us different than other places is we are kind of like a nature's daycare. So we're outside most of the day. If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's icy, if it's pouring out, we're still outside. If we have to make a decision of whether to go outside or not, it's not, are we going out today? It's, are we staying in today? And that only happens several times a year. Don't anyone get worried, thunder, lightning, or inside. The other thing is our progressive food program. And I forwarded the PowerPoint to you and you'll forward it to everyone. We serve, so in our 2nd school, we didn't serve food in the 1st school. In the 2nd school, we had a bigger space. We put a commercial kitchen right in the middle of the school. So as the kids go by, we want them to understand where their food comes from and appreciate where their food comes from. We don't want the chicken nuggets to have to be in the shape of dinosaurs because you don't eat dinosaurs and they're extinct anyway. And so we really want to expose them to real whole food and expand their palates. We have huge gardens at all the schools and we'd like to have one here as well. So we really have a farm to table. We've had a lot of notoriety with that. There's a documentary called Fed Up that we were in. It's a really good documentary. If you haven't seen it, you will enjoy it. And we were also in a New York Times bestselling book about how we feed the kids. So when that first started, it was a big failure. We went from not feeding them all to feeding them, and nobody ate for 2 months. And the chef that I hired was a mom. She was a pastry chef at our school, and she was, her food was just incredible that she brought her daughter's lunch back. So I did that, and it was miserable. The kids were losing weight, nobody was eating, and I thought this person left her job to work for me, and it's horrible. But then after 2 months of doing what we say we do, which is not making the kids eat, not getting emotional of it, not getting into a power struggle with them, then one day they started eating and they haven't stopped. We serve them salmon, we serve them every kind of vegetable you could think of. Our afternoon snack is like Brussels sprouts. And so they've really expanded their palates. So we say that if there's a picky eater, we're going to turn them into a good eater, and a good eater is going to turn into a great eater. And that has been the way since we opened in that kitchen in about 2013. So we're really proud of that. That wasn't our plan to begin with, right? We were just going to start by serving the kids good food. But through our experiences and the people that we've met and the things that we've learned, we have an incredible growth mindset. I do, and the schools do. We kind of grew into this, that they're eating bistro food and they could name every vegetable, and it's amazing. It's nothing that I thought would have happened at the end. So outside food, we have an incredible relationship with the parents. We do parent coaching. We celebrate a lot. We get together a lot. I put some pictures of that on the slideshow. And then we're Reggio Emilia. A lot of people don't know what Reggio Emilia is. Everybody knows what Montessori is. So Montessori and Reggio Emilia are very similar in the way that they honor the child. But the difference, there's just a little bit of difference on, Reggio Emilia has their materials that everyone does the same way. And if there's any Montessori fans out there, I sent my kids to Montessori and I love it. So this is just not going to come out the best way. But in Reggio, what we do is we allow the kids to explore the environment. There's only 3 rules: be safe, be kind, be helpful. And if they're doing those things, they could do whatever they want with the materials. And we've had incredible success. A lot of our kids in our other schools will apply to private schools like Foot School, Cold Spring School, Sleep School, and what's the other one? Anyway, they all get in. And it's a really difficult process, not process, but it's difficult for them to get in because there's so many kids that want to get in those schools and there's so few spaces and all of our kids get in. We're talking like 12, 13 kids a year. Yeah, so, and then also with Reggio, we only use nature and recycled materials to do artwork, no construction paper, no turkey hands, no anything like that. So very process art. It's all about learning alongside the child, and it's 100% unapologetically play-based. And we teach the parents what that means and why that's appropriate. Our school is definitely not for everyone, so we do a lot of onboarding with the parents before they come in September. We have, phone conversations, we have hour tours, we have enrollment dinner where our chef cooks them the salmon that the kids eat and everything, and then we tell them how filthy their kids will be at the end of the day. And that this is their last opportunity to run away, because it's definitely different. We don't want to partner with any families that don't have the same ethos as we do. And that's why our schools are so popular, because everyone knows about what we do, and so they come to us for that. So we have a big cheering squad behind us.
How many kids will you be able to accommodate at this facility?
So we're looking for approval for 72 children here, and it will be toddlers through kindergarten.
And there is, as I pointed out in the statement of use, which you have, obviously we have some of the children in 2-day programs, some in 3-day programs, some in full-time, but it's important, as is the case in other childcare facilities that we've worked on, that, this is not the type of situation where there's a dismissal period and, 2 periods of the day where everybody comes and everybody leaves. Based upon the family needs and what have you, it's spread out over the course of the day, so that the 72 number, which is compatible with this site, but it also should be looked at in the context that depending on people's family needs, those children will be dispersed in their arrival and departure throughout the period of the day.
Yeah.
Almost like the bank.
Yeah, right. And in terms of we're
Making the deposit.
Monday through Friday, what was it, 7?
Our
6?
other schools are 7 to 6. We're playing around with 7:30 to 5:45, but
Yeah.
at
But in that,
most it would be
in that
7 to 6.
range,
And
and
they just trickle in like it's,
Did I hear this correctly? So they're like 2 and 3 day sessions, correct?
no.
No, they're all every day.
No, we offer 5 days a week,
Okay.
and we offer part-time, not part day, but part-time. So if someone wants to come 3 days a week, we'll find someone else that will come 2 days a week.
So just to kind of put the numbers together, is that 72 overall, or is it 72 at any given time there?
At any given time.
Okay, so really, you might mix and match the people that have a 2-day need, a 3-day
Yeah.
need.
Correct.
Sort of ultimately fill out that. I got it. And then is it your expectation to be able to expand that number? And if it is there a real top line of people?
I think 72 is the top line.
Okay, I'm just,
I think the first year is going to be very slow. It's very unfortunate that we're starting so late, because anybody who's going into preschool or pre-K doesn't know about us. They're already making commitments.
Right.
We might not open till, October, hopefully September. So it's going to be a very slow roll. Unless anyone knows anyone that could get us heard earlier.
so again, and feel free to not answer this question, but will you be purchasing this property, or is it someone else that owns it and you're leasing it and doing the improvements to it?
Our intent is to purchase the property.
Okay, all right, so you are decidedly investing heavily into that, which is a big deal too. It's commendable. You're a niche with what you're doing, which is there is just up the road, Greenfield Hill congregation has a program as well. So the proximity to where you are kind of lends itself to the fact that it is an additionally accepted practice within the Greenfield Hill as well. It's been recognized and people like that, so.
And speaking as the grandfather of 8 kids who have grown up in Greenfield Hill and some are still, there is a waiting list relative to that program, Trinity, and St. Paul's.
Right.
So again, and that just underscores that beyond all the exciting things that Amy described, it really does fill a need that is ongoing in the community and is only expanded in my experience over the last few years as childcare becomes more of a factor in a lot of family lives because of, of parents.
It's
working, so.
infrastructure, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
Mhm.
And it's about matching chemistry,
Right.
it just, as you said, you have an ethos that you are known for, and that's exactly how you want it to be.
Right.
Because you want the fit, because then ultimately they're happy and you're happy. And
Exactly.
most importantly, the child is happy. So.
Right.
Are you envisioning a lot of, describe the nature of the renovations you'll have to make to the space, I guess?
My sister lived in Fairfield, so I've been coming here since I was 12 years old. And I love Fairfield. We've been trying to get something down here in Fairfield or Westport for probably over 10 years and just could never find anything that worked. 10 years ago, we probably couldn't afford this, but it's just, we're known, let's put it this way, I'm in Hamden and I get my big outdoor pots done by Terrain in Westport. So our schools are stunning and you'll see that when you get the slideshow.
So
It's
when we
very
did see
important.
this building, we thought that it was a great fit. I mean, the building is stately, it's beautiful. We are gonna be doing an addition on the rear of the building. I think that's gonna fit beautifully with the building itself. So we are doing, basically, we're keeping the facade, we're replacing all the windows, doors, complete gut rehab inside. We will be redoing the entire parking area, mainly because it's on septic now. We will be connecting to the city sewer, which we have approval for already. There will be galleys underneath the parking lot to accept all the runoff. So parking areas will all be new, play areas. So it's gonna be a
Lots of new
substantial.
plantings.
It's gonna be it really is gonna be a stunning aesthetic improvement to the condition of the property. Both with regard to the architectural elements and also the extensive landscaping plan that we're gonna be submitting and that you can kind of see. get
Yeah,
some sense
this
of.
is preliminary, this landscape plan. We're doing some more refinements on that. We're working with Bill Kenny, who is who's actually our neighbor,
Mhm.
to the rear. So that's exciting too. And we have reached out to the neighborhood community, the business community there, and went to a little meet and greet. Their meeting the other day, and it was very well received. And I think it'll be great for the community as well, because we're bringing families. As part of that meeting, we heard about, well, people don't really know about us up here in our little island there. And I think we'll bring a lot of families there that could then go to the market, go to the restaurant, go to the dry cleaner.
Get their dog groomed.
Get the dog groomed. I mean, I think it's a great fit.
You're helping it become a destination as it was and can be revived, which makes it a good fit.
And the capital investment, 3.4, does that include the purchase price too?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all in.
Don't
Okay,
worry,
gotcha.
it's always more than that.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to be,
I was asked to build something for a building for another person, and as Amy said, I'm not retired because this keeps me busy.
yeah.
But I said, look, I can't work with budgets. I mean, I've been working with Amy too long, and budgets just throw out the window. So our facilities are beautiful, and I'm
We have a
sure.
tough client.
I do have a tough client.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. We
Put
appreciate it.
online, have questions for Lee or Amy or John, Steve?
Just commenting, it seems like just like a win-win, just like as Kevin was alluding to, just supports like the businesses in the neighborhood. It's a perfect fit that's within the zoning. There's I see no downside whatsoever.
We would love to have a support letter that reflects those sentiments. So Mark is making copious notes.
I am.
Can I have a motion
Can I just ask a question
Oh,
before
yes,
we
of
finish?
course, please.
The entrance and exits, I know you're gonna be changing that. So, I mean, you might have a little bit of a challenge, I don't know, with planning and zoning, I'm not sure how that's gonna work in that direction. But I realize, you know, the way it is currently is there's one way in and one way out, and it only goes, I guess, through one street. You wanna go on both sides, in and out, is that correct?
Well, right now, there is an in and out on, I'm sorry, I get the name, Hill Farm.
Mhm.
There is an in and out on Hill Farm. We're gonna maintain that in and out on Hill Farm. We're actually moving it up, let's say 15 feet to center it on the parking lot. Right now, it's kind of just off center. So that will remain. There was a one-way,
That was the one.
I'm sorry, you're right. It did come around the building for the drive-through.
Mhm.
We're gonna eliminate the drive-through. We're gonna eliminate the drive-through area. And there was another entrance close to the intersection of Hill Farm, and Hillside. We're gonna eliminate that entrance as well. So it pulls it away from that intersection. So you shouldn't have any confusion and traffic jam at that intersection. That will be an in and out, I guess it would be south, where the exit was for the drive-through.
Yeah, well,
One of the things,
The curb cut right next to the stop sign, which is really important.
yeah, one of the things we did early on was obviously we retained the services of a traffic engineer, RSD in Hanover.
Oh, that's good.
Very well regarded. So we were guided in terms of these aspects of things a lot by their recommendations. And I think, as Kevin, you say, one of the end results was an improved traffic flow and less impact in terms of the adjacent streets because of the elimination of that one drop there.
Right. Good.
Can I have a motion to create a letter of support?
Oh, appreciate that motion. Great
Everyone,
letter of
second?
support.
Second on that?
Steve?
In favor?
All in favor? Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank
Well, we
you.
thank you very much, and we'll look forward to reporting back hopefully favorable aspects of.
You on the May agenda?
No, we haven't filed yet because we're still diligently finalizing our plans. Our goal is to file certainly within the next week. And if we do that, I think we have a reasonable possibility of a hearing in June, but I'll keep you apprised. Okay? Thank
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
everybody.
everybody.
Lee, nice. You can.
As we continue, do you want to do the update on items?
I will, let's see, so, our annual, Stop and Stroll in the Spring event is, this evening. So we're working with, downtown, Burlington, to put on that event. It's an annual event that we've run now for a number of years. So it's my thanks and acknowledgement to, Mary Alice Niparopoulos, who's been working diligently to put everything together for this evening. We'll have a kickoff at Tableau, and proceeds will be in support of the Connecticut Audubon Society. So in celebration of Earth Day and their anniversary celebration and efforts to on behalf of the environment and conservation activities here.
And Mark, I cannot attend tonight, but Caitlin is
I
working with
heard.
Mary
Yeah.
Alice, so they'll be together and she'll be in the Fairfield University store at the table.
On the, I also wanted to report that we finally got out to bid the East Trunk sewer replacement project. Went out to bid on Monday. We've mailed a notice and link to the plan and invited bids from 24 different contractors that are do this type of work, as well as posted to the town and state website. So hopefully we'll get good pricing. Bids are due at the end of May. And we're working to finally close on the $3 million grant to help finance a portion of that, which hopefully will be done either probably by the end of next week. We did do recently a couple ad inserts in the Bridgeport Regional Business Council Regional Magazine, as well as the Fairfield County Business Journal, talking about development opportunities and activities here in Fairfield. So look for that. I guess that goes out with part of their annual, the BRBC magazine is distributed at their annual meeting in June. And then distributed at other events that they have throughout the year. So it's profiles the 6 communities within the region in terms of the work that is ongoing in the area of economic development. Did want to mention too that next week is Economic Development Week from the Monday through Friday. So there'll be various activities in support of that. Celebrating economic development, Connecticut elsewhere. Part of that is there's a fireside chat with the new DECD commissioner on the 8th up in Wethersfield. I cannot attend because of another commitment, but I'm happy to provide notice in case any of your schedules permit. Should be an interesting discussion. I've heard Commissioner O'Keefe speak previously. He's very dynamic, great advocate on behalf of the state, obviously. So looking forward to that. But again, I can't make it, but if any of you are able to, that'd be great. So I'll send out the link. And then last evening, we had our second of 2 public hearings on the Community Development Block Grant Program. Each year, these are federal dollars that we program in support of various community development housing needs locally. One of which, with regard to economic development, is our micro enterprise assistance grant program. So we do have funding set aside to support small business development in the form of micro grants to qualified business owners. So that'll go to the Board of Selectmen and RTM in May and June for approval. And then also we just did close the application period for programs that want to be considered under the Neighborhood Assistance Act program, which is a state tax credit. Corporations can support through donations various municipally approved programs and receive a credit on their corporate tax liability up to, a percentage based on the amount that they donate. But this is an annual program that the town has participated in for 10, 12, 15 years. There are no town funds involved. We're really just to facilitate both the business participation in that program as well as to attract investment and charitable contributions into these organizations that provide services to the Fairfield community. So we'll be putting that on the Board of Selectmen and RTM agenda also in the upcoming month for their approval. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm happy to take any questions that people may have on anything of that nature or projects.
I noticed Batteries Plus opened on Black Rock Turnpike.
They
Are you
did.
familiar with that particular location?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
What is
wasn't
that?
able to make
Well,
it.
they're actually fantastic
Yeah.
and I had to use them on
Yeah.
Sunday because
What
my
do they-
battery
what do they
died. AA wouldn't have trouble.
Oh, so they do what kind of batteries do they?
Any.
Any and all kind of batteries.
From the little guy to the big guy.
Like, like someone walks in with their key fob.
Yes,
know,
and they do keep.
And they'll
on.
just do the key fob or just anything.
Launch
You know,
batteries too,
Anything.
and
Yes,
then car batteries.
the car batteries
I guess
galore.
so, I guess so,
Yes,
right?
because I was there.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to talk to you, Justin. So.
Yeah, there's one in like
Batteries.
Milford or Orange or.
I was gonna
They
say,
are
what?
franchised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how are they gonna manage to make a living selling batteries? But okay, if it's larger
They
scale
do have
batteries.
light bulbs, I can tell you that. So they have interior light
All
bulbs.
right, I guess it works if it's a franchise,
Yeah.
I need to get my key fob upgraded, so maybe that's my next stop.
but they're not doing a ribbon cutting or anything.
We did do it.
Oh, you already did it?
Just did that, I
Oh.
think, last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
somewhere recently.
That would've been-
Yeah, there's a ribbon cutting every week. You gotta pay
Yeah,
attention.
I see your picture everywhere.
So it's good for the community.
Yeah, well, I mean, that space, it actually works very nicely. I mean, Right, it's.
Well, before that, it was like nuts or something. I don't know how they. It was nuts.
I said it was nuts. You know, we did.
How do you gonna-
like the
how many nuts
business
do you have to sell? I mean.
Planning on that one, right?
All right,
All right, so, director's report, or actually, no, we need the project list update, for us.
Okay, I don't think we have an update for this meeting, do we? Nothing new to report, correct? We haven't really gotten together and discussed it.
Okay, all right, well, we'll push past that, any, for purposes of developments, sites pending applications.
Well, we continue to, there's a couple projects that we did code review. This is one.
Yeah.
161 Hillside Road. We also have done a code review for Belize Genesis, which is doing the
Mhm.
showroom, which we
Mhm.
voted to support. There's also a proposed mixed-use development on Post Road next to Group Britannia. Mark Andre and his firm are doing that. So those are all pending applications, but there's quite a bit. As I was preparing this update for the BRBC publication, took a ride around a lot of projects in construction that are nearing completion, including hopefully this year, the Hartford Healthcare Facility on Black Rock Turnpike, Dr. Marsh's new veterinary hospital in Greenfield Hill, the 100-unit Park Avenue residential development next to Sacred Heart. Another project just broke ground, the Bronson Road, the 91-unit 830G application that was long delayed in litigation with Garden Homes, that they just recently were issued a building permit.
Next day, 95?
Yes.
Okay, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
they did
so
go through.
there's a number of things that are percolating, but there's always seemingly stuff that's going on. We're also working with a developer next to Illicit, the project, 245 unit mixed use Transori development. And in fact, I'll be meeting with him later today to talk about his time frame.
The other building that's being built on Metro, the apartment building, it seems like it's kind of slow.
Well, they stopped work, and part of it, a considerable part of it was a dispute between the contractor, the general contractor they hired, and the development company. This always comes down to money in terms of sometimes it doesn't pay to take the lowest bid because anything that's a change, people are asking to renegotiate terms of the agreement, and I understand that's what precipitated a falling out between the two parties, and so they're trying to work through and resolve their differences in terms of what the end price will be. So it's not your imagination. There hasn't been any work happening for the last several months on that. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of wood, so I mean, there's a critical period of time of how wet you can get before it all of a sudden. It's bowed and they have to start ripping stuff out.
New stuff again, right?
So, okay, all right, great. Beverly.
Okay, hi. I have a quick question on the school. Are they incorporating any academics?
It's mostly daycare because it's pre-K,
Right.
but I think their philosophy is learning through play.
Okay, that's, I might have missed
So
that, yeah.
I don't think it's a rigorous academic curriculum that they're talking about in terms of structured
Mhm.
curriculum. It seems quite the opposite of that intentionally. So, which I kind of like, but it's again, it's not, as she said, not for everyone.
Right.
It's definitely a boutique type childcare provider, not inexpensive either, but she also noted that
we didn't talk price, but I can imagine it's very.
the number of her, she says she is serving 3 families in her current, from Fairfield in her current Hamden location. So I think there is, I mean, part of the issue is there is demand for this service. I think generally there's a lot of demand for childcare providers. A lot of people are looking for that. So I think this will definitely serve a segment of the market.
We are an
Nice
affluent community,
location.
right? It's
Yeah.
people want what they want.
Pick the right place, Greenfield Hill.
A couple of other things. I was able to attend the UI meeting the other night and it went really well, because.
Yeah, I was there as well.
You were there?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see you. So, I thought it was a good reporting and perspective of the town and nicely handled. There weren't any uprisings or anything bad going on, conversation that I saw, but I thought that was good. Did you think it was good?
No, I had Bill, I thought Bill Gerber and David Ball, the attorney, did an excellent
It
job.
was amazing.
You know, I think but it's hard for me to understand, and I understand, I get that courts provide a lot of deference to regulatory bodies such as the Siting Council, but it's really hard for me to understand how they can approve a plan without there actually being a plan. And not providing an opportunity for those impacted by it to exercise their constitutional due process rights to intervene or provide commentary on it. So it just seems,
Sounds like a federal government.
it seems really outrageous.
Yeah.
That, you know, the Siting Council could approve a plan without there
Without
being
a
a plan,
plan?
giving people an opportunity to comment. It just,
And the more they dig down and dig in on asking of questions and things, other things surface like that. And they're really, I think, doing a great job. And the gentleman on the end was Steve.
Steve Ozick, he's
And he's-
running the nonprofit 501c3 community organization that's been contesting the projects from day
From
one.
day one, right, he was, well, and I think one of the strong messages that he was saying is that, you know, UI looks like a little local
Yeah.
electric company, and then you've got Avangrid, and then you end up in Spain.
Mhm,
And his point, and he said it about 3 or 4 times, is that a foreign entity
mhm,
wants to take our land,
mhm.
whether it's commercial or personal, and he must have said that 3 or 4 times, so that was a strong message. I didn't think of it that way, but I thought it was a great meeting. We're about to schedule our awards dinner in June, and Mark, I just want to chat with you offside, because I'd like to bring in you know, economic development, recognition, and I'm thinking illicit, but I want to run some things by you as well to see what your thoughts are. And we actually may have a ribbon cutting for our brick program. We don't know when, but we're making nice headway there. I don't know if Parks and Rec has done anything since I met with them last, but this was promoted and done at the Chamber's 75th anniversary with the town, in partnership with the town. And then COVID hit, and it's been years, but we're getting there now, I think, and we'll be able to celebrate that in recognition of our local business community. So
You can look at the bricks, they've all been
they're
installed.
all
Right.
installed
Very
and nice and everything, but Outdoor Design is the sponsor. They will be redoing the landscaping around the semicircle. And
When are they planning to do that?
I haven't heard back, because there was a Parks and Rec rep there that day when Outdoor Design came, and I met with them, so I haven't seen a date yet.
Yeah, when would they like to do it? I would think pretty soon, I would guess, right?
She was hoping for end of April, May, I believe.
Maybe we
that.
should just indicate that's when we would like to start work. and
Right.
see if we can-
Yeah.
So I don't know
It
how,
doesn't Need to happen here.
I had to say, I was walking by the other day and it really kind of struck me of it, that is, you know, they've done a lot to that building, but the landscape is lackluster at best, you know. I
Oh, the
mean,
library?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, including like right around the side, they have that really interesting like alleyway there.
yes, I've been on that a few times now.
But, you know, but it's, you know, but they cut down some trees and they left the logs there and all that
Yes.
stuff. So, like, you know, I think they could do a little better is my point, you know, I mean, it's right to the center.
Right, exactly. So we're making nice headway. Right. And then there's the bench thing, the plaques, you know, those slats are only 2.5 inches.
Mm.
The ones on the alleyway are 3 and 3 plus, so.
I'm sure we can get one that fits the slot.
Right, yeah,
Just
it's
the regular.
little plaque, it'll be little, and because it can't go more than the ones I've looked at. Don't go wider than like 4.5 inches, so
Can't-
there's.
Yeah, it can't go longer.
Not that I've seen, but anyway,
Well,
that's.
it's too bad we don't have Engravers World anymore.
I know.
Sure, you can get any size you want, right?
Right, yes,
Very
well, the
true.
slats are, and they're wood, the alley, it's man-made material.
Right.
So we have to be a little careful about that, but anyhow, we did meet, so. Do you want me to reach out to?
I would
Parks
say,
and
no, I would
Rec?
say outdoor design should provide anticipated plan start date.
Okay, and I asked them
Installation
for a
start
little
date,
bit.
and
of
we'll just,
design.
that
Okay.
way we'll say, hey, unless we hear otherwise, we're gonna start work that week.
Okay,
Whatever week that is.
all right, so I'll reach out to her.
They gave a plan and everything.
Well, no, that's what, she actually came back to me, she said, because I asked her for a schematic and a plan, and she said, do you want to know the types of plants and the details? And I said, not really, but Parks and Rec will want
Probably
to
would be a
know.
good idea to have a plan,
Right,
planting plan showing what kind of materials they're gonna put in,
right,
plant,
Mhm.
plants and all. And then just give it the start date.
right, okay,
We
and
wanna
then,
put it in this week and
okay,
if I don't hear,
Yeah.
I'll basically send it to Parks and Rec and say, if I don't, otherwise, we'll consider this plan approved.
okay, oh, all right, so will you, reach the Parks and Rec then, or do you want me to?
Yeah, if you can
I
reach
can
with
do
outdoor
that.
design
Yes.
and get a plan
Okay.
and their anticipated start.
Okay, yeah.
completion Date.
With the idea that it'd be nice to have it sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think you'd
Yeah,
wanna have,
exactly.
I would think you'd wanna have it,
Right.
this is the time you start
May-
planning
May is
stuff,
when you
right?
plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Right, exactly, so,
They'll probably need to go back, and they'll probably need to, are they putting in a sprinkler system?
well, Parks and Rec said that there is drainage in there and there is little something on the top of the lawn. I don't know if it's sprinkler or not, but there is something because he showed them to me.
Yeah.
So there may be sprinklers
Yeah.
in there when they built that semicircle.
Well, if there is, we need to be very careful about that so as not to,
And he
Inadvertently.
showed that to outdoor
Yeah,
design,
sure
to
that
be
it-
careful of the lines coming in
Yeah.
on that.
yeah.
I think they had like a soaker hose in there. I
Well,
don't, I don't think it was anything big, and I think it was just around the edge of the beds, and if that's what it is at all. So
There
But-
were things, yeah, so maybe, I don't know,
you're gonna
actually,
need,
then.
you're gonna need a sprinkler system.
We're gonna have to water it
Yeah,
some way.
right.
And I asked them to power wash the little half wall because it's got
Mhm.
growth on it and not mold, but it's got things growing on it. So he said he would do that. And I did ask them if they could do something with the benches and add a stain to it, so it's protected wood and Parks and, well, the person who was there, I think his name was Chris.
Okay,
Okay, so I don't know if you know him, and he said, yes, we can do that,
Okay.
so, give it a little color to it, so it will, I think, look really beautiful.
they're gonna have to remove the slats anyway to put the plaque on it, or at least one of the.
One of
slats,
them, and that should be right at the very top,
Yeah,
right?
Right,
Okay, okay,
Remove it or just mount it from the back?
I'm not sure how they're gonna do
Yeah, I
it.
think usually they just put it on and mount it from the back.
Well, this is, I think, front mounted, and I had originally asked if they could, recess it some way.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to like.
So it'd
take a
be-
brand, you
so
don't
it'd
like taking
be-
a brand on your back.
Exactly.
Mark said
It'd be
that,
all-
you didn't say that through this,
That
so,
would be clever if you did that.
I don't think it would
like
be
that.
hard to do it, just route it out.
Right, yeah, exactly. All right. Anything else?
no, that's it for now.
Awesome, thank you. Any other business, anyone? Anyone?
Anyone? You were?
Sorry, Mark. No, I have a cable person here today and they're having to rewire some stuff, so I keep getting distracted. No, nothing from me, but I
No
appreciate it.
Steve, you have anything else you wanted to add for today?
No. I
All right.
endorse
All right.
the project there. I think it's a good idea, a good use of the space, and I think probably if I was one of those markets or Belgian, the Belgian chocolate place, I'd be happy seeing those.
Very happy, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, right, yeah, very true. So we're pushing towards summer. So we usually don't do a particular meeting in, I think, August, right?
Definitely, one of either the July or August meetings, depending on people's availability, we could pull around. August, I think, would probably make the most sense, Skip.
Yeah, did we, and I always want to say that we did July, we did more of an informal
Yeah, I think last year we did a little happy hour type
Yeah.
event.
Went to OPT.
Oh, post, right? To the
Right.
post.
Yeah, we,
It'd be kind of a nice, like a more social occasion.
Yeah.
which would be fun.
That's
So-
nice, yeah.
So I'll tell you what, let's, next month's meeting, let's bring that up. Let's figure out what dates work for ourselves.
Mhm.
And,
Location too.
we'll do a location and a date and, we'll set up, a
Sounds good.
little more social gathering. We'll have an,
I'm sure the folks that'll listen will be happy to.
That's what I was thinking, you know, we still haven't been there, so let's do.
Yeah.
it is, it could be, it is loud there though. I will
and I
say
was
that.
just gonna say.
It depends on when we go. so.
Right.
They do have some of those sort of, not meeting rooms, but those sort of booths. I don't know if we spend some time like in a booth, if we want to cover an agenda of any kind.
Those booths are like extra loud. They like capture like every aspect of noise.
Wow,
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's intense.
quite the opposite. of
It is
what
the
you-
opposite. I don't know, it funnels it in.
It's interesting.
It might be out of the demographic anyway.
They're a little tight. I mean, what, 8 people?
Yeah, I mean, they're okay. I mean, it could be fine, but,
Yeah.
you know, I just, you know. You have implied privacy, but you.
You really don't.
You're yelling across the table at
Right.
each other, so.
Then again,
Well,
some
we
of
can
the
figure that
patio
out.
should
Next,
be
that's a
open.
next month thing.
Well, time of day matters too, doesn't it?
Mhm.
True, yeah, that's true.
They should have their patio open by the summer, I would think.
Yeah,
Oh,
All right, good.
outdoor space.
All right, well, with all that said, I guess we just a motion to adjourn.
let's adjourn. What do you say?
Okay. very good.
That was good. That was a motion.
All right, good.
Otherwise, you have to stay in perpetual session.
Don, Margaret,